What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. On today's video, we're going to talk about how to change the surface of your bowling ball without having to go to the pro shop, and what the benefits and what the importance of adding surface to your bowling ball are. But make sure to hit that like button. Please consider subscribing. It's a great way to help support the channel. Yeah, like 60% of you guys are not subscribed, and I'd really appreciate it if you just took a second, hit that subscribe button. If you like the jersey I'm wearing in this video or in any of my videos, you can go to coolwick.com, promo code Napoles10. That'll get you 10% off your entire order. And then you're really going to want to get one of these ball spinners if you're going to be changing surfaces, at home or whatever. I like this ball spinner because obviously the ball spins on it, but also because you don't get all that stuff on your table. Keep it right here on the ball, on the spinner, easy to clean. It's by a company called DH Lab. You guys already know all about them. I've partnered with them. Link down below in the description. All right, so what do you need to change the surface of your bowling ball? Well, you need a bowling ball that you want to change the surface of. I highly recommend a ball cup. This is just a bottle of water. You don't need any fancy cleaner or anything, just some water. A nice microfiber towel to clean. You need a couple surface pads. All right, so why do you want to change the surface of your bowling ball? Well, this Summit Peak is a really good ball. You guys know how much I love this bowling ball. With the polish, however, it can be a little bit too long, a little bit too angular. And sometimes that ball motion is exactly what we're looking for, but sometimes it's not. Sometimes we want a ball motion that's going to be a little bit earlier and a little bit smoother. And the easiest way to do that is to change the surface of your bowling ball. Rather than plugging and re-drilling this ball, I can just change the surface of the bowling ball. Now, I can already hear you guys thinking, oh, the bowling ball came polished. This is the way it's designed by the manufacturer. I don't like to change the surface, yada, yada, yada. Let me tell you that the out-of-box finish is mostly for sales. How it looks in the pro shop will directly influence sales. When you watch a lot of the pros on TV throwing, like for example, a Summit Peak, it's not going to be super shiny like this. A lot of times it's going to have the shine knocked off of it because it's earlier, because it's smoother, because it'll be a more predictable ball motion. Especially if you're bowling on a lot of sport shots, you're definitely not going to want a whole lot of polished equipment. If you're bowling on a lot of sport shots, you really want sanded finish, smooth control. And then aside from that, even if you only bowl on house shot, if you're a very speed dominant player, like your rev rate isn't very high, and a lot of times you don't like polish because it's too long, too snappy on the back end, that's when you would really want a sanded bowling ball. All right, so enough jibber jabber. Let's go over this tutorial. So in front of me here, I have a 1,000 pad, Abralon pad, and then I have a 3,000 pad. Now, I want the finish of this bowling ball to be at about a 3,000 finish. Now look, I'm not gonna scan the bowling ball. The actual number that it ends up really doesn't matter. All I'm looking for is a ball that has no polish on it and it's going to be smooth. So we don't need to spend $500 on a scanner or anything like that. We're gonna do the eyeball test, okay? So if I want a 3,000 finish, I can't just hit it with a 3,000 pad because that won't take the polish off the bowling ball. The goal is to take the polish off the bowling ball. So I'm gonna take this 1,000 pad. Okay, so before we get even into that, we're gonna separate this ball into 4 quadrants, okay? Let's just say that we're gonna go fingers to the side here and above, so that's 1 quadrant. Then we're gonna go fingers up, and then that's gonna be another quadrant. So 4 quadrants of the bowling ball. It's a sphere, so there's unlimited quadrants. We're just gonna cut it into 4. So we're gonna spray the bowling ball here. And again, this is just water. I'm also gonna spray the pad, because you want the pad to be nice and wet. We don't want to create too many scratches into the bowling ball, and we want the pad to last a long time. So we got the pad nice and wet, we got the ball nice and wet. So now we're going to do small circles here. As far as pressure goes, I'm not like applying a ton of pressure, but I'm also not going super, super light. Like imagine if you were giving your grandparent a little massage. That's about the pressure that I would use. Got a little ASMR here with the scratching. So that feels about right. Let's go ahead and wipe this off. You can already see a lot of that polish is already off. So I'm gonna flip the ball 180 degrees. Again, spray with some water. We wanna keep the pads wet. We wanna keep the ball nice and wet. And because this is not the finish that I want the ball to be at the end, I'm not super worried about getting every single inch and cranny. I'm not worried about going super long on it. I just want to make sure that I get a lot of the surface of this bowling ball. All right, so we're gonna repeat this process. Yeah, you can already see this ball looks way different already. All right. So now we're gonna take the finger grip. And so the reason you cut it into 4 is just to really make sure that you get the entire circumference of the bowling ball. All right. Make sure we get that center grip too. And we're gonna flip it over. Oh, water. The pad will tell you when you need more water because it'll be like super scratchy. All right, let's go ahead and wipe this off. Add some water here. So this is already looking super dull. But again, this is not the finish that we want the ball to be finished at. So now we're gonna take our other pad, which is like a 3000 pad. This is an older 2000 pad, I think is what it was. So about 3000. Again, I'm not super the exact number. I just know what I want it to look like. So now we're just going to go the entire circumference of the ball. Get the pad nice and wet, get the ball nice and wet. Yeah, this is when I really like these ball spinners, because I don't have to lift and turn, I can just keep doing this the entire time. All right. Now, once I get this ball nice and dry, this should be, you'll notice that it won't be as dull as it was when we hit it with that 1000 pad, but you're gonna see it's not shiny at all, which is what we want. I don't want a shiny ball. There you go. So now you can see the before and after. The Summit Peak was super shiny. Now it's nice and uniform, dull all the way around. Now when I go to throw this bowling ball, it's not gonna be very long, it's not gonna be very angular. It's gonna be nice and early, nice and smooth, which is what I'm looking for out of a benchmark type bowling ball. So the Summit Peak may not have been a benchmark ball for me with polish, but now with the surface, it very well may be a benchmark type ball motion for what I'm looking for. So let me know down below in the comments, do you guys change the surface of your bowling ball? What's your favorite finish? For me, I really like that, like between 2,000 and 3,000, depending on what I'm bowling on. On a house shot, I think 3,000 is perfect. On a sport shot, I'll typically start around that 2,000 mark. We'll see you guys on the next one.